says, you need to go to the Episcopal Church. I went, why? And he goes, go. I got into let's just say I got into an interesting dialogue in social media with someone the other day and thought I was, let's just say, I was saying this about the dignity of every human being, that everyone's a creature of God. And who are we to stand in judgment? You know, but that's the turning. Part of the turning point for me coming back, and then I want to ask you is when I started exploring coming back to faith. I found it. My brother looked at me. I said, "I'm not going back to church ever again." He says, "Why?" And I said, "I just can't believe this. I'm not going to tell you what I said, but I can't believe this stuff." He says, "You need to go to the Episcopal Church." I went, "Why?" And he goes, "Go." And I went and I saw the Eucharist for the first time, and I almost cried.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did this come from? And then the words in the prayer book, um, the promises that we make to one another and to God. And I'm going, where did this come from? Well, where's this been all my life?
Yeah.
And the turning point for me was I was sitting in confirmation class. Yeah, I got that far with an older priest. And I looked at him and he says, anybody have any questions that you'd like to ask? And I said, yeah, I've got one. How can this God that we follow, there's at the time, I guess 6 billion, 5 billion people in the world, and only 2 million are Christian, or how many ever million are Christians. What about the rest of them, that don't know Jesus or they don't follow Jesus? What about them? And this is what he said to me. He says, here's what I think. Scripture says that Jesus is the truth, way, and the life, right? And I go, yeah. And he says, here's the thing I think is if you're trying to follow truth and trying to discover truth in some way I can't fathom, maybe you're trying to discover Jesus in some way that you don't even know. And I went, okay, that's all I need. I'm back.
Yeah.